Hey, thought I'd jump on here real quick. I've got to go out this morning. I wanted to start off by saying, okay, do you remember I told you about this thing? This is one of those newfangled fly catchers. This one is, I had a problem with little sort of, I don't know, fruit fly kind of gnat sort of things in the house. And that design on it is supposed to attract those kind of flies or something like that. Anyway, ever since I've had it hanging up, my problem in over 2 or 3 days decreased, and I haven't had any of those little annoying gnat things, the kind that fly around and you kind of itch or they tickle you, and or they fly in front of your eyes. And I've had it up now, I don't know, several weeks, have not had any problems. And it does in fact have the little things, little bugs attached to it. You can't see them unless you look really close though, so it's not like a piece of fly paper or something with dead flies stuck to it. It just looks like, it's just probably somebody would look at it and think, oh, that's some sort of art thing she has hanging or something. And then also, moving down here, my rain shoes made out of rubber, and then the flowered part is neoprene, which is the stuff that wetsuits are made out of, that divers wear. Boy, they work fantastically. This morning it is raining out, and I walked Grayson. Let's see, we walked how far? Over 3/4 of a mile through wet grass and puddles, and my feet are just dry as can be. These shoes really work well. I think they're from the original Muck Boot Company is the name of it. Anyway, if you look back through my videos or go to my YouTube channel, you can find a review of them. And they work great, they're comfortable, they're pretty. They also come in, plainer colors and other designs too. Anyway, so time for a second cup of coffee. It's funny, even though it's a rainy day, Grayson and I had such a nice walk. We saw some people that we know. It's so nice because he recognizes my special friends, so he'll wag his tail and look and, watch them walk by and everything. Of course, he wants to go visit them, but not on a rainy morning, because we still do have a little problem with him sometimes wanting to jump up. But, it's good for him to practice just watching and not having to run over to somebody. Well, let's see. Second cup of coffee. Yeah, I don't have my stand here. I just have this leaning against various kitchen things. But yeah, so even though it's a gloomy day, because I saw people that I know and like, and we had such a nice walk, that made it a really nice day. And here I am talking with you. Let me put this away. It's funny, isn't it, how feelings can be that, I don't know, I remember when I was a teenager, I distinctly remember feeling sometimes like a dump truck had backed up to me and opened that back gate and just let go of a bunch of all kinds of emotions. And I didn't know why. I mean, I just have this huge turmoil of all kinds of emotions, negative, positive, and things in between, and not know why I felt that way. And sometimes I still have some things like that happen. But now I know there doesn't have to be a reason for emotions. I mean, sometimes, they're helpful. And you can go, oh, why am I feeling this way? Oh, and you realize that there are certain things maybe you've been thinking about, or something that's maybe bothering you about somebody. Sometimes you'll meet someone, or even be talking to a friend, and you'll kind of get this feeling like something's wrong. And in fact, yeah, there's a problem, or your friend is upset about something. I mean, not necessarily upset in the relationship, but something has happened and is bothering them. Your emotions can be real helpful in alerting you to something. But I would say that a lot of the time, you got to be really careful with how you manage your emotions, because they can be sort of a force for evil or a force for good. Like I've shared with you about how when I'm walking around and I see that people have not picked up after their dogs, and now I have learned to not react. I don't even make a facial expression, because if I let myself start reacting, I sort of set off a cascade of being upset and angry and dissatisfied. And then it's almost like I put on a pair of glasses with dissatisfaction lenses, and I start seeing everything in a kind of negative light. So, and remember, I talked the other day, and this is so true, about how not only do your feelings affect your facial expressions, but your facial expressions also can affect how you feel. So honestly, if you, like, let's say I'm walking along and I see something that somebody left, and I go, that will generate feelings that kind of match the expression. But what I've been doing is I look, I'll notice something. I either don't make any expression, or sometimes I'll go like, yeah, the people are like this. And I've been thinking a lot. It's interesting. I posted a picture on my Facebook page of my, great grandparents that was taken in 1906 or 7. And I never knew them, but this has kind of generated some discussion among relatives, especially distant cousins, who I only found out they were distant cousins from, some of those family tree apps or programs, whatever, that you can get on. Anyway, so like my brother and I, no, he's not a distant cousin, and we are in touch. My brother and I just, for example, have been talking about things we remember about our parents and grandparents. And it's really interesting because he's in his, how old would he be? He's in his late 70s. I'm going to be 70 next month. He's 8 years older than me, okay? And there are so many things that we've never talked about. But it's funny because when you start talking about your relatives, especially, you can kind of realize or start thinking, why in the world did they say that or act that way or do that? And you realize that nobody is like the TV version of people, those of us pretty much who are living now have been brought up in the age of television. And not only does life happen sort of in 30-minute or 45-minute segments, where something begins and something ends, or it's to be continued, but, usually it's sort of a neatly wrapped package. That's not how life happens. And there's a lot of loose ends, a lot of unexplained things, a lot of unpredictable things. It's not like a TV character where you can say, oh, I know how, you know, what he's going to do or what she's going to say. Life is just not like that. And you know what? It's okay. I think it helps to take the attitude rather than being shocked or disappointed to go, that's interesting, and let how somebody else acts. Of course, you know, you may need to make decisions and respond and all this, but let it be something for you to think about. Let it be a challenge to your thinking. Well, I mean, I'm going on and on here. I want to make a second cup of coffee. Oh, yeah, because I got to leave in a few minutes. Well, anyway, hey, so have an open mind as far as be curious. Let yourself be challenged. Be open to change and grow. I mean, you're never too old to get better, right?